A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video, but more on that later. So I've always wanted to try making maple syrup from scratch the old school way, and at the same time I thought, why not attempt a surprise for my wife Dana with a pancake breakfast featuring our very own homemade maple syrup. All right, it is the first evening after installing the maple syrup buckets, and I'm heading down to check on them. It's actually the next day, so it got to freezing temperatures last night, and then today it got up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So I think that's like ideal conditions for maple syrup. I don't really know, but we'll find out now. This is very, very exciting. I was tempted to come take a look earlier, but I didn't have the camera, and I really wanted to see how things are going. This could be very anticlimactic, but I have a good feeling. All right, here we go. First bucket. Whoa, tons of sap in there. Holy moly. It's hard to see, it's like halfway full. Wow. Half a bucket on the first day. Holy moly, holy moly, holy moly. I'm gonna have to empty them tomorrow. This is just amazing, amazing, amazing. What a cool experience. Wow, what a cool experience. Half a bucket on the first day. All right, let's go check the other one. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Huh, like a third of a bucket. Really cool. Really, really cool. Maybe a quarter of a bucket, not a third. Still amazing. Great news. And now for the third and final bucket. Here we go. Can you see? Wow, half a bucket in this one. Holy moly. All right, day one, 13 jars. This is gonna be kind of tedious, I think, to put these in jars, but we only have these little mini fridges, so I don't really know where to store it when the temperature gets warm. I feel like people just store that in large plastic containers, but It's gonna get warm next week and I'm not sure exactly when I can do this. There's a bit left over. Let's try it. Whoa, it is actually sweet. I thought it was gonna taste just like water, but it's quite a bit sweeter than water. Apparently you can put this in your coffee and stuff. I think I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna have to do it secretly though, because this is still a surprise from Dana. Hey! Yay! Wow, almost a full bucket, Freya. Yeah. Well, you know what they say about watched kettles never boiling. I think I'm gonna just leave this for a little bit and see what happens. Feels like it's gonna take a while for this quantity of liquid to start boiling outside when it's like 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So the ratio of sap to syrup is 40:1. This is 36 jars right here. So all of this is not even gonna produce 1 jar of maple syrup once it's boiled down. Oh, so I just had to restock the cart and refill the fire. I've already burned through 1 whole cart of firewood, so I'm learning pretty quickly. This is gonna take a really long time and take quite a bit of work. But I was also not sure if I wanted to go old school with maple syrup in the future or use some of the newer technology, and I'm kind of loving the old school vibe right now, so I feel like the closer we can stay to this in the future, the nicer it might be. So you would think this fire is like way too big, and it looks way too big, but it's not even boiling in there yet. It's kind of crazy how long it takes to boil such a large amount of liquid outside in the cold. Might need a better system in the future. So I decided to speed things up a little bit because I did the math and I don't think this stuff is gonna boil down before nighttime. So I kind of wanted to get this done like today and not have to stay up all night boiling. The fire is just really challenging to get hot enough. I think the pot is a little too high. So to get it to boil was challenging, but I removed 2 potfuls and now it's boiling really well. So I think it might have just been too much liquid for the height of the pot off the fire. We're learning, you know? So I have to say, I'm pretty happy I decided to do the propane version and the wood version, because if I hadn't switched to 2 pots inside in the wall tent on propane, I wouldn't have realized that indoors it smells absolutely amazing. It's like you're in like a pastry bakery or like a candy shop or something. Like the air just smells so good. And outside it just smells like smoke. You can't get any of like the maple sap aroma in the air outside. So I feel like when we build a maple house to cook down sap, I definitely want to have it like compact enough that you get to smell it, because it is a really delicious smell. It's almost like coffee, I think, where it actually smells even better than it tastes. All right, so it's 7 p.m. This stuff has been cooking for, I think, 6 hours now, and it's almost fully cooked off. If I had started this process at 5 a.m. when I normally wake up, I'd be done by now. But I think I'm actually going to put it all in a pot, cover it. It's really cold out, so it can just stay out in the wall tent, and I'll continue in the morning, because the final bit is kind of the most important part. You don't want to burn it, and I feel like I don't want to be doing that in the dark. So close, but you learn, and it's really just been an absolutely magical process. It's really fun to watch it boil down and be outside all day by the fire. And it's also nice to have the wall tent stove going. It smells incredible in there. So this is definitely something I want to get into, I think. I wanted to like dip my toe into maple syrup making and see if it is for us. And it's definitely a highly enjoyable, really beautiful process. I think we really took it off the heat at the perfect moment. I don't know if you can see, but it's looking really good. And it'd be nice to have a little bit more control with the propane now, because we're getting close. Also, this fire served me pretty well. I think if these 2 pieces of angle iron were just a little bit lower, we would have been in great shape. All right, it's 5 a.m. The project continues. So I think we're actually getting pretty close to being done. There's like a fancy piece of equipment you can use to check if it's done, but the other thing you can do is like what's called the spoon test, where you see if it drips off the spoon or if it flows as like a thicker, steady stream. So we're just gonna try that and see if it works. snowing outside, which is kind of fun. And it smells so good in this tent. I'm hoping it just like goes into the walls and stays this way forever because it's like kind of amazing. This is actually a really nice place to make maple syrup. It's giving me a lot of ideas for when I build a sugar shack in the future. Overcook it. I think it's done. Wow. Look at that. It's the right color. It tastes amazing. And I can always boil it a little bit more, but it's passing the spoon test. Ready? Look. Real maple syrup is a little runny. It's not like super thick, and it will thicken as it cools. This is like the correct quantity right now. This like will barely fill one of these mason jars, and we were at 40 to 1 almost. So I think this step in the process is done. We are going to filter it next, bottle it, print a cute little label, and then we can get ready for Dana and Max's little surprise. What a beautiful, beautiful experience making maple syrup has been. I definitely want to get into this in the future. It's so relaxing. It's really, really cool. I also want to have way more sap collection because for me, actually, I think the best part was just drinking the sap straight, not boiling it down. It's like a really, really nice hydrating liquid, and I feel like it's like healthy at that concentration. And then once you get down to the maple syrup concentration, it's just straight sugar. But as like pure unfiltered tree sap, it's really, really nice. It's super hydrating, and it's kind of the thing you could like actually get into drinking regularly when it's in season. All right, we got pancakes, we got fresh fruit, we got the photo shot, we got bacon, and we got scrambled eggs, plus our homemade maple syrup.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay, into the kitchen? Where am I looking?
Whatever you want to look.
Pancakes! Oh my gosh, no! You've been making maple syrup? What? Ah! Oh my gosh, Lou! Oh my gosh, pancakes! Oh my goodness, I'm shaking. How did you do all that? Can we taste it? Wow! Wow!
Max, look, it's maple syrup from our land.
Dad made maple syrup? How did he do this without us knowing? What? What? I am literally shaking.
Want to try?
Yes, good thing I got all these berries.
I don't have any spoons.
Wait, oh my gosh. The cutest bottles ever. Have you tried it?
It's amazing. It's way. I thought it was gonna be the same as store-bought maple syrup. It's like 10 times better, I think, because I made it stronger.
Wow! Max! Lou,
Right.
I am so overwhelmed with it. Yeah,
Pancake.
You want a pancake?
These are sourdough pancakes with no starter.
No.
Uh-huh.
You did it all this morning?
Uh-huh.
You want a fork too?
Not that fork? It's a little fork.
Daddy gave it to you. You can eat your pancakes, Max.
Wow.
They're so good.
Thanks so much for watching, and a big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. We've been with Squarespace since the start, and that's because they've got the knowledge and expertise to help creatives like us with all the complicated things that go into running your own website. Pick from a range of beautiful templates, spend some time collecting photographs and writing text, and just like that, you're ready to start building your very own website or online store. And once you're all set up, they've also got a range of advanced analytics to help you optimize and tinker to your heart's content. If you'd like to start your own website or online store, head to squarespace.com/wildweroam for a free trial and 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again very soon.